Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my April 2025 book haul. So I'm a little late doing this. I usually try to do this within the first week, but we're a little late. Anyway, so April, I spent a lot less, but I still bought as many books as I did in March. So I bought 26, but a lot of them are used because I went to a couple of library book sales. I didn't get to go to the really big one, so my book haul could have been like twice as big, but I didn't get to go to the big one because of my dental procedure. So I went to three small ones, three small ones, and then I bought a few used books on Independent Bookstore Day, and I bought a couple new books, and I have a couple pre-orders. So not as many as someone's. So, I mean, I have kind of an eclectic blend here of fantasy, romance, kind of thrillery, and nonfiction, and a couple of classics. So let's just get into it. So I had two classics that I picked up. The first was The Blazing World and Other Writings by Margaret Cavendish. This is a book I've been looking for several years. She is from the, is it the 1600s? I can't remember her. It's somewhere in there, and is that right? Yeah, 1600s. And so she was very much a self-promoting writer and trying to break boundaries for women and stuff in her own way. And I know she is one of those people I've wanted to read because I read a fiction book on her, Margaret the First, I think, many years ago. So anyway, I've always wanted to read her actual writings to see what that is like, because I think they're kind of weirdish, fantastical things. I also got A Rogue's Life by Wilkie Collins. I've never seen that book, but it looks like it's about a man who isn't very good at business and other things, and so I think he's gonna try to marry into a family to get money. I'm not sure, but anyway, I just found that it's a Wilkie Collins book. I thought I would try it. Let's go to some. I would say these are my kind of thrillery, romantic suspense, dystopian books. I got Identity by Nora Roberts. So I don't know a whole lot about this, but most of these ones that I pick up from her there's something about the FBI and stuff. So I'm guessing, I think somebody kills her friend and then steals that friend's identity, or steals her identity. I'm not sure. It has something to do with that, and then the FBI are involved. Anyway, so romantic suspense, which again, I like those from her. I picked up Battle Royale by Kusan Takami. I don't know who did this translation, by Nathan Collins. So this is a Japanese, I would say, classic at this point, in a lot of ways, but it has to do with some, I think 9th graders or middle schoolers from Japan who are put on this island, and then they have to fight to the death. And I think it's televised. I'm not positive, but this came out before, the Hunger Games and everything. So, it's one of those ones where I've always been interested in it, but I never wanted to pay for it. And then I found it at one of the library book sales. So I got that. I also have been wanting to read Bright Young Women by Jessica Knoll. This is following some women who are involved with someone who comes and attacks their sorority. So it's kind of like Ted Bundy, but we never hear about about him. We hear about the women. And so I've been wanting to read this to see what it's like. I have read several books on Ted Bundy in the past, so I'm curious about that one. And I've always wanted to try Tana French, and so I picked The Witch Elm because I think it's a standalone, I think. And I think it has to do with some guy who had something happen to him, and then he kind of takes refuge at his family's home, and then he finds a skull, and so it's like a mystery from there. I think that's what it is. I don't know, but I've been wanting to try her forever. I'm not really attracted to some of the other books, but except for maybe The Searcher. I'm not sure about that one, but that one I want to try, so we'll see what happens. And then my nonfiction. Let's do these first. I had got two David McCullough books. I got the Johnstown Flood, the incredible story behind one of the most devastating disasters America has ever known. This is one of his that I have been wanting to find for quite a while. So I found it at a library book sale. So I do want to read that. I do like him as a historian. I mean, he has passed now, but he has so many books that I haven't got to. And I have, so I got this one because that one's one I've always wanted to read up on. And then I also got his The Great Bridge, the epic story of the building of the Brooklyn Bridge, because I've heard really good things about this one as well. So this one's a much chunkier one. But both of them are ones that I want to read for nonfiction. And then I picked up a memoir, A Place of My Own, The Architecture of Daydreams by Michael Pollan. So I know he wrote the Omnivore's Dilemma, which I read many, many years ago. But this is about, I think he talks about a lot of stuff that is in his life. I think he builds this place for him to write, I think is what. So it's kind of like A Room with Owns, but it's different, like, you know. So anyway, I'm not sure, but it looks kind of interesting. I had heard about it, but not a huge amount. Okay, and then let's go some romances. I picked up a Jingle Bell Mingle by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone. I have the first book to this one, A Merry Little Meet Cute, but I didn't realize that this is book 3. I thought this was book 2, I think. And I think I was supposed to, A Holly Jolly Ever After is the one I'm missing. I'm not sure. Something like that. But it doesn't matter. I haven't read the first one, but I picked up the second one. It was really cheap, and I just picked it up for Christmas romance. We'll see. That's about all. I don't know anything else about it. I picked up a Sarah Morgan, The Book Club Hotel, which is about a woman who is more, this is more just general fiction, about a woman who I think has I don't know if it's a bed and breakfast or some kind of business, like a hotel. And she is kind of not having the greatest life at that moment because of things that happened in her past. And 3 women come as kind of a, you know, girls' weekend kind of thing. And I think they kind of shake her up, and she joins in with some of their stuff, I think. I don't know. I've never tried a Sarah Morgan. I got that. I picked up Ali Hazelwood's Not in Love because I hear that you read this book before her newest book comes out, and I haven't got to this one. I'm actually very behind on her books because I haven't only read like 2, so I need 2 or 3. I need to read more. Anyway, so Not in Love is, I know that has to do with I think a corporate takeover, and then, you know, they're hiding their relationship, but I'm not sure. We'll see how that goes. And then I picked up Unsteady by Peyton Corin because this is another like hockey figure skating romance. I have a couple of these now. And I got this used as well. So I hear this one's really good. So I don't know. I don't know much about it. I think she stumbles across the hockey player. He'd gotten injured or something. And then I think he has a panic attack. I think. And she sees it. So I think she helps, and then they kind of get entwined that way. I don't know much else. And I think she has a lot of family stuff going on. I don't remember else beyond that. I did pick up another Abby Jimenez book. I need to start reading these. I have to stop buying them. But I decided to pick up her first book, The Friend Zone. I'm pretty sure this is her first book. I'm not sure how I'm going to like her writing, but now I own 4 of her books, so I need to read these. But I picked this one up because I was afraid to start with Part of Your World, just because I feel like I should go back to the beginning. I don't know. What should I do? You let me know. Should I start with The Friend Zone, or I should start with Part of Your World? Anyway, I don't know what this one is really about, but I'm guessing that it's, you know, friends to lovers kind of thing. No idea, actually. No clue. And then I picked up Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. I read The Bodyguard last year. Was it last year? I think so. And I enjoyed it quite a bit. So I wanted to try another one of her books with the plot that I was interested in. And this one was, I think she is she a painter or a photographer or something? Or she's an artist. And I think she loses she can't distinguish people's faces because of an accident. And I don't know what he has to do with it. But there's a cute little dog, and something happens. I don't know. I've heard good things about this one. I want to try another Catherine Center. Her last couple books haven't, like, their plots don't call to me, so I thought I'd go back and pick up one of the other books. So we'll try that. And then I have some, this is my only sci-fi one, and that is This Is How You Lose the Time War by Amal El Motar and Alex Gladstone. So I've heard so much about this, and I did take it out from the library once, but I just didn't get time to read it. So I will try to read it. I think it's about two agents who are fighting this war, and I think a relationship starts like over messages. I'm not quite sure. I did pick up another Heather Graham. I don't know why. I feel like I read her like over 10 years ago, like a lot of her books, and then I just stopped reading her for a while, but I keep wanting to come back and try to get back into her books. I picked up the first book in the Blackbird trilogy. This is Whispers at Dusk. So I think this one has to do with the vampire killer. So I don't know if he thinks he's a vampire or he kills like a vampire. I don't know. I'm not sure, or if he really is a vampire, because hers can be paranormal. So they're usually pretty suspenseful, but with romance, but they also sometimes have a lot of hers have a paranormal element. So I'm pretty sure that's what this is going to be. Anyway, it looks good. I'm going to try it. We'll see what happens. I did pick up Dragon and Phoenix by Joanne Burton. Burton, I guess is how you say her name. This is the second book in a series. I have the first one, The Last Dragon Lord, on my shelf. I think it's a trilogy. I'm not positive. I didn't actually look that up. But these are older books from I think the 90s. Well, 99, this one. Anyway, so, and again, they're fantasy romance, but old school. So I do want to try The Last Dragon Lord. And then I saw this used at one of the library book sales, and I just picked it up because it was it's like almost perfect condition for a book that is this old, because this is printed in 2000. So I was like, dude, I just picked it up. Anyway, so if I don't like the series, that's fine. I will get rid of them, but looked good. Anyway, I picked up The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett because I've heard so many good things about this. This is a mystery, I don't know, sci-fi fantasy-ish kind of thing, kind of Sherlock Holmesian story. So I know the second book just came out, but I've heard so many good things about this book. So I do want to get to this fairly soon. That's about all I know about that. I'd like to read that. I did pick up a graphic novel when I went to a comic book store on Independent Bookstore Day, and I got Freaking Romance Volume 1 by Snails Lord. So this was a webtoon that they brought out into, I think it's 3 volumes. So I did try it the one day, but I haven't got back to it. I'm hoping to get back to it this week. We'll see. But I'd like to read this. It's cute. It's about a young girl or young woman who is just out of college, and she's just out of high school, going to college, and she is forced to find an apartment to live on her own, and the only one she can afford is the haunted one. And so she takes the haunted room, and he is the ghost of some sort. I haven't got quite that far. She's only seen him a couple times, and her cat likes him, so we'll see what happens. I'm curious to see how that goes. I'm not sure. I did pick up a fantasy, Heir of Novron by Michael J. Sullivan. This is volume 3 of the Rhaenyra Revelations. So I haven't even started this one. I have the first book, and now I have the third book, but I don't have Rise of Empire yet. But it was such a good price at a library book sale, so I picked it up. So I'm going to look for book 2. But I need to start with Theft of Swords. And I hear so many good things about these two characters. It's very much a buddy, romance kind of thing where they do a lot of things together. And then, so I want to try this series. But I found this in such a good condition, as it said, at a library book sale. So I picked it up. And then I also picked up Bespelled by Laura Thalassa. This is the book 2 in the Bewitched series, Bewitched series. I haven't read Bewitched yet. I think it's kind of a more paranormal romance, urban fantasy kind of thing. I know the woman is flying somewhere, and then somehow something awakens and changes things, but that's about all I know. I don't know anything about this, but they changed the covers on these. So I bought the cover that matches the one I already have. So that probably won't help me going forward, but anyway, I did like her Bargainer series, so I really would like to try this series, and now I have 1 and 2, so I should really read that. And then the last is the 4, let's do this one first. I got Sweet Obsession by Katie Robert. This is book 8 in the Dark Olympus series. I'm part of Katie Roberts' Patreon, so I pay the level where we get books when they come out. So I did get this, and I have read this and really enjoyed it. Is this like the only one of the books I've read in this stack? Yeah, that's bad. I mean, yeah. Whoops. Anyway, I really enjoyed it. It's not one of my favorites in the series, but I think it just progresses the plot. So, again, it's a dark romance series that has kind of Greek gods as titles. They're like, and they're kind of controlling the city, and things are just going wrong. And again, this is book 8 of 10. So I'm caught up on that series, which is good. So then I have 3 books that were pre-orders for April. I got the 3rd book in the Fallen Gods series by Hannah Kaner. So this is Faithbreaker. So I've heard really good things about this series. I've read book 1, God Killer. I just have not moved on to Sunbringer. So I'm hoping to do that soon and get through this series this year. We'll see what happens. But I do have book 3. I got book 4 in the Rebel Brew Ranch series, Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage. I am going to read this really, really soon. But this is following, is it Cam? Yeah, Cam and Dusty. And it's a second chance romance. So, and she's had a lot of things going on in her life. So, and we don't know as much about him. And so I'm not sure how this is all going to go, but I do, want to get to this one. And then I do have Firebird by Juliet Cross. So I know that this is the first book in the Fire That Binds series. So I know that there's a lot of controversy about this right now. I will read it on my own to see what I decide about it. But I had already bought this, and it is already here. And again, it is really pretty. Juliet Cross writes the Stay a Spell series, which I really enjoyed. I've read that whole series. I have the next book in a couple of her 2 other of her series that she's come out with in the last year. I just haven't got to them yet. And now this one. So if I don't love this, I will get rid of it. I don't have any problem. I've gotten rid of, a couple of their hardbacks that were really pretty because I didn't get along with them. So I don't know how I feel about this. I know it is a slave and slaver dynamic in here, but I don't know how it all comes about. And it's supposed to be Roman inspired. So again, I don't know enough. I know there's a lot of people who've talked about it and made decisions on their own. My decision is I am going to attempt it and see what happens. If I don't like it, I won't read it. That is how that's how I read. So anyway, but I've already got it. It was already, by the time I was here, that's when I heard about stuff. So anyway, but again, she's an author I've really enjoyed in the past, so I will give it a chance, but I'm not saying I know how that's going to go. So those are all the books I brought in April. So I did not mean to buy so many, but again, there were so many library book sales, and really I only bought a few new, either on Independent Bookstore Day or the couple pre-orders that I did have. Everything else was used. So I think I still did pretty good, but that's a lot of books to add to my TBR, but yeah, that's what happens every month. Anyway, we'll see how May goes, because May is my birthday month. And I usually buy a lot of books in May, but so far I've done really, really well. We'll see if that continues. I don't guarantee it, because my birthday is, when you see this, it'll be in a couple of days, and I might break. Anyway, so that's it. Have you guys read any of these books? Are these any of these books or series, or you think that's the place I should start with that author? Let me know. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.